Together it says,
Hello everyone, it's another great day to be a cougar. Welcome to this edition of How to Be a Role Model. Today's video is all about something called self-control. School and life are full of things that are very exciting. We do assemblies and class parties. We have recess, we have fun at lunch, and the list goes on and on. There are so many exciting things that happen at school and in our lives. Sometimes those school and life are full of things that may not be the most exciting. And we may or may not always be motivated to do them. School and life are also sometimes full of things that can cause us to feel emotions like anger, sadness, frustration, and lots of other emotions. For all of these situations, exciting situations, situations that we may find boring, and even situations that make us mad or frustrated. In those situations, real cougars, real role models have self-control. Self-control is just what it sounds like. It means having control over your body, having control over the volume of your voice, having control of the effort you put into something, and having control of your actions. Self-control is found all over our posters. It's found in this one, in the bathroom. Self-control might just be as simple as doing the right thing, even if you don't think someone is watching. Self-control is in the library, in the hallway, during snowy recesses. Self-control is for adults too. Our staff has to have self-control. Self-control on the playground, self-control at home, in the cafeteria, with the substitute, inside recess, carpet, classroom, school bus, and of course, self-control is on our always poster. It's everywhere. To have self-control, we all need to be aware of how our body is feeling and what our body is doing. Now, I asked some adults in our school, some staff members who are experts on feelings and self-control, Mrs. Heron and Mrs. Wixel, to talk to you guys about what self-control is. And I got some 5th grade leaders to also act out some things that might show us situations where we have self-control. Now, you're all going to have these posters, and Mrs. Heron and Mrs. Wixel are going to talk about it during our video today. I want to give Mrs. Heron and Mrs. Wixel a shout out for being role models and doing a couple things, especially being optimistic and active learners. Not all adults like to be on camera like Mr. Phillips does. So check out this video of Mrs. Heron and Mrs. Wixel talking to us about self-control, our zones of regulation posters, and some 5th grade leaders acting some scenes out. Check it out.
Hello from your school mental health team, Mrs. Wixel
and Mrs. Heron.
This week we're going to talk about the zones of regulation. We're going to teach you what the zones are, how to identify what zone you're in, and ways to get yourself back into the green zone.
The zones of regulation are blue, green, yellow, and red. The green zone is really where we want you to be because in the green zone you feel happy, calm, focused, and ready to learn.
The blue zone is when you're feeling sad, sick, tired, or bored. You have low energy in this zone.
And the yellow zone is when you are feeling a little out of control. That could mean you're frustrated, worried, wiggly, or excited.
The red zone is when you're feeling really out of control. This could mean you're feeling mad, scared, excited, like you're gonna scream.
Okay, so we're gonna play a game. So teachers, get ready to pause the video and ask your students to guess what zone these students are in.
What zone do you think this student is in? things you can do to get back into the green zone if you're in the blue zone are ask to talk to someone, give yourself a squeezy hug, or get a drink of water, or do some stretches.
What zone do you think this student is in? That's right, this student is in the yellow zone. What can the student do to get back to the green zone? Take 3 deep breaths, maybe take a break and go for a walk, or do some wall pushes to get their energy out. What zone is this student in?
That's right, the student is in the red zone. Some things you could do to get back into the green zone are ask to take a break, take 3 deep breaths, or count to 20.
What zone is this student in? That's right, this student is in the green zone. If you're in the green zone, some things you can do to stay in the green zone is be responsible, be optimistic, be an active learner, and be respectful.
If you need help remembering all of the zones, you all have a poster in your classroom to remind you. Or you can ask to talk to a trusted adult, like your teacher, one of us, or Mr. Phillips. Thanks for watching.